In the video titled Student Loan Grace Period, What You Need to Know, we discussed setting up a reserve fund and then following one of two strategies. The first strategy we termed an easy strategy. The second, an advanced strategy. And that is what we are going to be reviewing in this video, is the advanced strategy. We will use the same loan assumptions that we used to illustrate the easy strategy to illustrate the more advanced strategy. And just to review, those loan assumptions were that the term was for 10 years, the grace period was 6 months, the balance of the loan was $100,000, and the interest rate was 6.85%. Now, in evaluating and determining how to apply the advanced strategy, we need two numbers. The first is during those 6 months grace period, if I defer, how much interest do I actually defer? And in our case, it was $3,425. The second figure that you need, you have to figure out, okay, what's the difference between the cumulative amount that I pay if I defer relative to the cumulative amount if I don't defer? In our example, that difference is $4,740. So the advanced strategy is you're trying to answer the question, should I pay down my student loan during the grace period, or should I save my money and invest it over the long term? Which one's going to put me in a better financial situation? So to determine that, the first step is to figure out how much it costs, which we already did. And that cost is how much do you defer during that deferral period, the grace period. And in our example, it was that $3,425. The second part is, okay, well, if I save that and actually invest it for 10 years, do I end up with an amount greater than the $4,740? That is, if I made the decision instead of deferring just to pay my loan down, how much did I actually save? And again, that goes back to the previous slide where we compared the two situations and we said, well, we would save $4,740. So in order to answer this question, you need to figure out your break-even rate of return. Another way of describing the break-even return is simply, what is the rate of return necessary that if I invested $3,425 today and wanted it to be worth $4,740 in 10 years, what would my money have to grow at? And in our example, it's 3.25%. So to answer our question of, do I defer during my grace period and invest, or do I pay off my loan? We simply say, if you think you can earn an investment rate of return above the break-even rate of return, then you would invest and defer your loan. So that basically means if you think you can get a 4% rate of return on your money, then you would invest and defer because you'd be in a better financial situation in 10 years. If you don't, then you simply pay down your loan during the grace period and you'll put yourself in a better financial situation over the next 10 years. Now, there's one caveat that we do need to highlight about that 3.25%. It is considered the risk-free rate of return. So for those of you out there saying, well, I can get 6% in the stock market, that is not comparable to the 3.25% because there's risk involved. So as long as you say, well, if I think I could get 6%, so I'm going to invest instead, and you understand that there's risk involved in those returns and you're okay with that risk, then you too would also say, okay, well, I'm going to invest and defer instead of paying during my grace period. Now, if you'd like us to look over your situation and do this similar analysis, or if you have any other questions on your student loans and would like to ask us any questions, you can just shoot us an email at info@fitbucks.com.